Good afternoon, folks. Video number 2 here. So what we're looking at here is the rubrics for the free response questions that are going to follow the multiple choice questions on the exam. So as you know, there's 3 questions and they're listed right here. Question 1 is a poetry analysis. Question 2 is a piece of prose fiction analysis. And question 3, which is what we're going to be looking at this week, is what they call a literary argument, which is really a thematic discussion over an entire work. So anyway, let's just look quickly at the important thing here, which is the rubric. This is the rubrics they use to score these. So this is how your essays are going to be scored. And they tell you, so basically it is a 6-point, as you can see over here, get rid of that, a 6-point rubric for each of the questions. And then there's this whole equation that translates the 6 points into, a score, something on their score sheet. But basically it's a 6-point rubric. So let's look. First thing, you get 1 point for your thesis. And it says thesis responds to the prompt for the thesis that presents a defensible interpretation of the poem. Okay, so you do that or you don't. Any of the following, if there's no defensible thesis, or the thesis only restates the prompt but doesn't make a defensible interpretation, or the thesis provides, the intended thesis provides a summary of the issue with no apparent or coherent claim, etc. So then you get a 0. So you can look this over. This is responses that do not earn the point, responses that do earn the point. It's only 1 point, but it's important. So you should read through that. The second part here is the most important, where you get 4 points for evidence and commentary. This is really your argument. This is how you prove your thesis. So a good, the best of these that get 4 points will provide specific evidence. Let me blow that up a little bit if I can. Whoops, here we go. Specific evidence to support all the claims in the line of reasoning. Consistently explain how the evidence supports a line of reasoning. So presenting really specific evidence and carefully arguing or explaining why that evidence helps you prove your point. And also explains how multiple literary elements or techniques in the poem contribute to its meaning. So those 3 things have to happen for you to get those points. And then you can see below decisions, rules, and scoring notes. These are things that explain to you what gets you a 0, 1, a 2, etc. And we're going to go over all this in class, but I wanted to give it a quick look with you. So, and then finally, row C, where you get 1 point, which is this odd criteria they call sophistication, and basically demonstrates sophistication of thought and/or develops a complex literary argument. This is really crucial because this is where you look at what I've written on some of your prompts, the next level of interpretation, where you look at the complexities, the conflicts within a poem, not where things just clearly make easy sense, but places where they don't make as much sense, places where there's tensions within the poem. And for example, in the poem Plants that we just looked at, there's a lot of tension between the sort of, brainless beauty of the plants and the fact that they sort of keep trying to take over the world and that kind of thing. That's a real tension. It's not completely clear what the poet's trying to say all the time. So that's what you really want with, sophisticated arguments. Responses that earn this point may demonstrate a sophistication of thought and develop a complex literary argument, identifying and exploring complexities or tensions within the poem. That's what I just said, basically. Illuminating the student's interpretation by situating it within a broader context, so the big picture, accounting for alternative interpretations of the poem, if possible, suggesting other ways the poem might be read properly, and writing really well in a style that's vivid and persuasive. All right, so I'm going to end this video now and make another one that will follow. Okay, see you in a minute.